Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Woof, now you're barking like a madman. Took you a while, Wolfie. Indeed. We're deep down in the depths. Let's get out of the hidey hole here. And, oh my gosh. What? I'm sorry, I uploaded that Far Lands or Bust flashback where one of your agents attempted to infiltrate the hidey hole, and now they're surrounding me. The creepers! The creepers. Do I have any... I've got too much dirt. Too much dirt, man! Just get rid of the dirt. Grab Wolfie, and precariously continue on. Oh, they're surrounding. Okay, time to move. Let's flank from the left. Hopefully they have not flanked us from the right. But we appear to be okay going this way, so let's go this way, Wolfie. In episode 321 of Far Lands or Bust, it's a very space flight episode number. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Ooh, skeleton residue. Yoink. We don't need that, so... Indeed. God, look at them all. Why? That's weird. I don't understand why sometimes there's a ton of them, and then sometimes there's not. Crazy creepers, I say. Crazy creepers indeed. But yeah, this is episode 321 of Far Lands or Bust. And it is the last day of January 31st, Friday, 2014. I don't think anywhere in the world says a date like that, but I did right there, so now it's a thing. And we're continuing west, like I said. We are at, for our Child's Play charity fundraiser, $169,474.61. Had some very generous donations come in. I do appreciate it. I also, even though they didn't ask a question, I wanted to say hello to Tony and Leo. They gave a donation to Child's Play charity, and it is a father and 9-year-old son who found Far Lands or Bust via that New Yorker article last week, and they said they enjoyed it. So hello, Tony and Leo. I'm not sure which is the father and which is the 9-year-old, but either or, welcome to the journey. I'm glad you enjoy, and I hope you stick around, and I appreciate you guys helping out Child's Play charity. You help get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world through Child's Play charity, and you can learn more specifically about Child's Play charity at childsplaycharity.org. How many more times can I fit Child's Play charity into a sentence? One. Just once. So yeah, we're continuing on here. What did I say? I said all the donations and things like that. We were surrounded by creepers. I had the Far Lands Bust flashback up yesterday. Little minute or so time capsules to past episodes. There's 15 or 16 of those if you want to look back. Little clips. Far Lands Bust history. And yes, that one was introduced by Gavin of the Slow-Mo Guys and Rooster Teeth. Woof! Which I know Far Lands or Bust has been getting a little bit of attention due to the that New Yorker article kind of spreading around other media outlets. But my first real subscriber push came from Gavin, and he put Far Lands or Bust on his recommended channels list on the Slow-Mo Guys channel, which, like, now it's got, I don't even know, it's got to have like 5 or so million subscribers, but I remember that being the first push, and to be honest, that was back when I even had 10,000 subscribers, and I've mentioned this before, but Gavin is the one who first kind of referred me to the YouTube Partner Program. When I got about 10,000 subscribers, I finally applied. He said, hey, you should check this out. You make good videos. I enjoy them, and you can actually make a little bit of money on the side from these YouTube videos. You should apply for the partnership program. So I did. So we have Gavin to thank for me signing up for that. And as things grew more and more, that little side money on the side became enough to be my full-time situation here. Obviously, more than just doing Farlands or Bust, I do all these other gaming videos and things. I suppose for those of you who came just looking for Farlands or Bust, I do those racing games and other stuff. So there we go. So long story short, a lot of people help circulate the news about my channel and Farlands or Busts, and one of those would be Gavin. So thank Gavin for the continued existence of Farlands or Busts, to be honest. Indeed. And he's also been a guest on the first two Flobathons, so very cool. And I finally got to meet him very briefly at PAX Prime last year in Seattle. So making friends on the internet. Not as creepy as your parents told you it was, although it could honestly still be kind of creepy. So be careful out there, kids. I apologize. So yeah, we're continuing on. I'm kind of low on the old wood reserves, so let's chop down this tree. Looks like we got plenty of wool, but whoa, watch where you're walking. Could be some lava, a lava pool. That would be instantaneous death, so we're going to try to avoid those. It's kind of funny, though. I will mention this, and it'll be the last time I mention this, but I'm still... It's slowing down. Like I said, the New Yorker article came out, and then as the way the internet and blogs and things work, other avenues found that and linked to it and posted, like your Kotaku, your Escapist, your apparently the Daily Mail, which is a big news organization in the kingdom, which is united. The United Kingdom picked that up and wrote an article, and that was shared with me. Somebody in Australia in a print news emailed me a picture of a news little blurb in the news, the printed news about Farlands or Bust. And then I was recently contacted by, there is a kind of a TV news show on this channel that I don't have because I don't have cable, but it's like Pivot. It's the channel that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is doing his hit record show on. It's kind of like an independent channel or whatever. Did a little bit of a blurb at the end about Farlands or Bust on their show. So, woo, cable news, sort of, maybe. I don't know how many people have that channel or watch that show, but the one thing I did notice is they mistakenly called Minecraft an MMO. They said, user Kurtmac loaded up a new world in the MMO Minecraft and started walking to the end of the map. So it's kind of interesting. I do want to say what the point I was getting at is, yes, I'm glad that we have all these new subscribers. I think it's probably been the biggest jump in subscribers. I think we had over 2,000 new subscribers, new Farlanders in one day last week. But I'm kind of glad. I appreciate it all, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad it's calming down, and I would kind of like it to calm down because there's a little bit of pressure that comes along with that. You have all these new people coming on, and you feel like you want to live up to the articles or whatever they've been reading. But also, it's also a reminder as to how very specific and how much of a niche that this, not only Minecraft, but YouTube gaming commentaries is, because reading all these articles or seeing that news thing where they didn't even really know what Minecraft was is kind of an eye-opener. You know, we go to these conventions or Minecon, or you do live streams and charity things, and we raise all this money, and people want our autographs and pictures, and it's a very, you know, once you take us, the YouTubers, or even you guys, the fans, outside of this community, outside of the YouTube or the Minecraft community, it's a lot smaller than we think it is, I think. It's a great community, don't get me wrong, but it just turns out to be a lot smaller and not, you know, we all, perhaps everybody watching this, or most people watching this, or other Minecraft YouTube channels and things like that know that, oh, all this stuff is kind of common knowledge about Notch and Farlands or Bust and Mindcrack and Etho and Sethbling, and you know, you think all this is just common knowledge. But you get outside of this little tight-knit community, and no, people don't know that much, let alone Minecraft, us YouTubers, but how YouTube works, or that there are people who do make a living off of making YouTube videos, stuff like that. It's kind of fun. It's a nice little, it keeps you grounded, I suppose you could say. Grounds. Said that weird. But anyway, yeah, let's go to sleep, and we will continue on, and I'll continue answering some questions in the morning. And a chicken's nest. Indeed. You're doing all right, Wolfie. Yeah, you knew that was another thing, I suppose, getting some new people on. People didn't know that when you tame a wolf, its health is indicated by its tail. So if its tail is pointing downward, that means it's taken some damage. So that's how I know when to feed Wolfie these bone-shaped pork chops. Indeed, in the current versions of the game, you can feed them zombie meat, but zombie meat didn't exist. We're playing in Beta 173, a very old version of the game. Ooh, how did I miss that kind of cool cliffy area? There's a tame wolf, or not a tame wolf. Wolfie's a tame wolf. That's just a wild wolf. And another. Indeed. I ended off the last episode answering questions from Bergasms. Answered 2 questions, one about the mission to Mars, another one about what coffee I'm drinking, and he has a few more. That will go quick, because I don't know the answer to some of these. Bergasms continues to ask questions, and he asked, how do you think the introduction of new enchanting mechanics will affect UHC? UHC is ultra hardcore with Mindcrack, member of the Mindcrack server, and that's a game mode, I suppose you could say, that specifically Good and Vintage Beef invented, I guess, but we've kind of brought it on as our own kind of community thing that we created, a little PvP competition thing, and to answer that specific question, I don't know. I don't know what the new enchanting mechanics are. I don't know what the old current enchanting mechanics are. For those of you who watched, I missed the last season, just the scheduling conflict. But for those of you who watch my UHC seasons, I don't enchant that much, if at all. I don't bother with potions because I don't play that much of that version of the game, and I don't play enough to really, that's not the part of the game that really appeals to me, enchanting and potions and all that kind of specific stuff that just really makes no difference to me. So yeah, I have no idea, and I don't know if you're talking about, like, if there's current snapshots that change things. I don't know when the next time a UHC will happen, if that snapshot will be the current version or not. I know we always have to take that into account. It's a volcano. So yeah, just a big shrug shoulders for that question. Then he asks if Mojang released a special beta 1.7 jar for you, with the only change being the improved wolf AI, speaking of wolves. Would you use it, or do you prefer Wolfie's antics? I don't know. Obviously, I don't think that they would do that, but I haven't dealt or tamed many wolves in the current versions of the game with the new wolf mechanics. Supposedly, they follow much closer and do their best not to run into cacti or jump off cliffs. But I think Wolfie's doing okay. Wolfie's doing okay. It is kind of his personality. A lot of other, perhaps you play Minecraft or you watch other Minecraft series where they have a wolf and it has the new mob AI. This Beta 1.7 is uniquely Wolfie's mob AI, so... yeah, and another thing, for those of you who might follow me on Twitter, I retweeted artwork from Tarawa, who does a lot of very funny comic-style artwork, fan art for Far Lands or Bust, and a bunch of the other Mindcrackers. He did one about Wolfie and the cactus. Very funny indeed, where Wolfie's, like, enamored with the cactus, and just wants to constantly hug cacti, and I'm in the background going, no, Wolfie! So, pretty funny stuff. I'm not sure. Probably not, because I like to keep this as vanilla Minecraft Beta 1.7 as I can possibly make. A protuberance of pumpkins! So as we continue on... Oh, there's a last question. Are you scared of snakes? Not really. I don't come across snakes in my daily life to begin with. So I would have to say no. I know when I was hiking in the Grand Canyon down a path, the people behind us suddenly stopped and said, along the side of the path, and said, "Oh, there's a baby rattlesnake here on the side of the path." And I'm like, oh, I just was walking by that not 10 seconds ago, and I had no idea. So I suppose it's the snakes you don't know about that you should be afraid of. But no, I don't. I've never really come across snakes. That's kind of an Indiana Jones thing. Like I made reference to in the last episode. Indy, why does the floor move? No, not afraid of snakes. Not really at all. Bugs, maybe? There are certain bugs that kind of like give me the willies. In college, I stayed in the dorms, the college dorms, and they were infested with cockroaches, which is a magical thing to experience and really allows you to concentrate on your education and your schooling and studies when you're constantly having to worry about swallowing a cockroach in the middle of the night. So that was a fun couple of years to be had. So yeah, that sort of stuff freaks me out a little bit. But otherwise, no, not afraid of snakes. Whoa, Wolfie, what you give me the old jukin'. Yeah, okay, that was the end of the questions from Bergasms. From Thomas M. asks, do you enjoy reading, and if so, who are your favorite authors or genres? And what are your favorite book of all time? I've answered this many times before, like 2 or 3 times. Many times over 321 episodes. I don't read that much, if ever. It's just something that I never practiced doing and was never good at doing. I'm a very slow reader. It's a laborious experience for me to read a book or a novel, so it's just something I never did because I grew so tired of it so quickly. Careful, Wolfie. Careful, Wolfie. Well done. Woof. So no, I can't say I read... On a plane flight, I downloaded the audiobook to Carl Sagan's Pale Blue Dot. That was enjoyable. I owned the book, and I started reading it like 5 times. I would read the first chapter and over and over and over again, but by the time I got done with the first chapter, I would lose my concentration or my ability to continue reading. So I got the audiobook, and that was good. So audiobooks are all right, I suppose, for like I said, when I was traveling on planes or something like that, that's a good time. But otherwise, I don't read. I make no allusion to being a good role model when it comes to reading. So sorry, nothing I can say about that. Then Thomas asks, do you plan to play next card game to great extent? To great extent. Yes, to great extent. Obviously, right now it's just in the open pre-release alpha or something like that, and there isn't much of any content. I've pretty much explored the extent of what content is available, but as they add more things, I'll definitely make more videos. And as it gets released, I'll hopefully be able to do, I'm not sure, there might be a career mode, maybe multiplayer fun we can have, but definitely hope to do a proper Let's Play of next car game, whatever it will be called once they figure out a name. So there's that, but I suppose a little teaser is that I did have a reason to go back and play another round in BeamNG Drive. And I have a video already in the hopper. Get to the hopper! Already in the video hopper, ready to go up on Sunday. So if you're not interested in the Super Bowl, I do have a nice BeamNG Drive video going up on Sunday. Of course, it's going public much earlier than the Super Bowl is starting, because I'm not going to try to compete with that. So look forward to that. And, I heard footprints, and there's probably squid underneath the ice there. The mysterious Arctic squid. Alright, sun's going down. Let's make an elevated hidey hole here. Bling, blong, bloom. Bloop, and a blop. Oop, there we go. Torch, and bed. Indeed. We still do have a bunch. Whoa, I almost jumped off. A bunch more questions from donors. We had a lot of good donations come in, as I said, so we'll continue walking and talking and answering questions in the morning. And awakeness. Ow! Sorry, I landed on Wolfie. I thought that would be less damage than going off the front, but oh well. I guess I don't know what my tender ankles can handle when it comes to falling off edges of mountains and cliffs and hidey holes. Boy, you're a weird sheep. That's kind of a weird dark gray. You don't see the dark gray very often. Unless it just appears dark gray against the white snow. Let's see, a question from Matthias? Matthias? Wasn't that the name of the bad guy in Tomb Raider, the latest Tomb Raider game? But Matthias asked, if you were to travel in time, when would you go? When would you go? I'd go right now. No, when would you go? As in, what time would you go? I don't know. Probably the future. In the year 2000. Probably the future. I feel like it would be nice to know where we are heading versus where we've been. It's also kind of the agreed upon quantum mechanics thing is that you can only travel to the future, or you can't travel to the past, is kind of the wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey scientific explanation of time travel. But, so probably the future. I'm not sure how far. You don't want to go too far to find out that we've, turned the planet into a nuclear glass-covered wasteland. But, Maybe like slightly beyond what my actual lifespan would entail. So I don't know, maybe 2100 or something like that, just to see. I mean, geez, look in the last. I was making. Who was I? I was talking about something about doing YouTube as a job or something like that, and you think of, say, Tony and Leo, the 9-year-old who I just mentioned, who's watching with his dad's Far Lands or Bust. When I was 9 years old, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like a fireman or a baseball player or something. The internet, it was like 1991. It existed, I suppose, on a small scale, but certainly not like it does today. I certainly had no knowledge about it. I don't even think we owned a computer in 1991. Maybe like an Apple IIc Plus. And now, the internet, YouTube, smartphones, and being able to do a job in YouTube, you wonder, in the next 22 years, what is... I'm going to say Leo is the 9-year-old. I could be wrong. But, what kind of jobs or opportunities or things are going to be happening for him in just 20 years? So fast forward to 90 years or so, and it'd be very interesting to see what is up with with the Earth and humanity. Hopefully we got some more of our stuff together than we do now, but yeah, I would say the future. The not-too-distant future is probably where I would travel if I had a time machine. So, very interesting question, Matthias. Thank you very much for that. And I suppose along the same lines, segue, along the same lines, Sunny, with the donation, asked, what are your aspirations for the next 5 years? A much smaller time scale. I have no idea. And even 5 years ago, I was working as a web designer in a job I wasn't a big fan of, and I would have had zero clue about YouTube as a job or even video gaming, Let's Plays of Minecraft. Didn't even play Minecraft yet or anything. So the next 5 years, I try not to have too many plans, because oftentimes you can have these long-term plans, but you gotta realize that not only do you change and your preferences change, but the world around you changes and situations change, so you have to be kind of flexible. It's not a bad thing to have goals or anything, but 5 years, I don't know. I would like to, especially after this season, this winter, I would like to move somewhere else other than Chicago. We're expecting another, 8 inches of snow this weekend, and I have had enough. It is enough, I say. So I would like to move to some warmer climate. That would be nice. Maybe in the next couple of years. I don't know. Who knows? I can't, like I said, I have no idea. So yeah, 5 years. I hope this YouTube thing is still a thing and I'm able to continue doing this. Definitely, as the articles are so quick to proclaim, it's at this rate supposedly going to take another 20 or so years to reach the far lands here in Far Lands or Bust, so I definitely want to keep doing this. No. Let's go around. I have a feeling. Yeah, let's go this way, Wolfie. I just have bad feelings about that. I don't know. Ugh. It's an endless pit of despair. So yeah, 5 years? No idea. Not a clue. Not a clue. How about tell me in the comments where you think you will be in 5 years? Perhaps many of you will still be in school. That's very possible. Perhaps into college or out into the job market or things like that. Helunk? Come on, careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie. Well done. Let's see here. Mindcrafty D13 asked, I know you think astronomy is stellar. Nah. See what he did there? Stellar. How do you feel about geology? He goes on to say he thinks geology rocks. Oh, you. I enjoy geology very much so. In fact, like I mentioned 5 years ago, I was in that web design job that wasn't making me particularly happy about my day-to-day situation. I was very much considering, and if you go back and watch the old Far Lands or Bust archives, I was talking about quitting and possibly going back to school for geology because I really enjoyed geology, particularly of interest as of late. Planetary geology is a really hot topic, I suppose, kind of a thing you could expect the next decade or so as being a lot of science and knowledge about the Earth's origins and the solar system's origins coming out of planetary science and geology. Is very interested in that. Even though I didn't take that much of it in school, the few earth science classes I did take were always very interested in me? Yes, the classes were interested in me. The subject matter. No, I was interested in them and did very well. So that was kind of what I wanted to do. of course, this came around. Going back to school became less of a priority. That was never going to happen. Let's just face that. I don't have the money. I don't know where I would go, and really, to be honest, not to deter anybody. If you're on a track to be in geology and stuff, then thumbs up. Awesome stuff. But in order to get into like the scientific fields, you generally need to go all the way for like a PhD if you're planning on making a career out of the actual non-commercial scientific aspects of geology or chemistry or astronomy or whatever. And that is not quite a process I believe I would be prepared for. So, good thing that this YouTube thing came around, and I do appreciate all the fans for sticking around and making it possible. Hopefully the content lives up to things. Wee. Aw, didn't go all the way. That's a shame. So yeah, geology I feel is a very cool subject, and like I said, I mean, even like future, pretty soon, depending on funding and what the plan is, geologists are going to need to be hired and set forth as probably astronauts. You know, right now I feel like physicians and people who know about the human body are definitely, and of course always, as always, engineering and things like that, but the things they're looking for in astronauts right now is kind of the physiology side of things, to study how the body reacts to long-term space flight and things like that. So I feel like that's the current generation of, there's Wolfie, have a seat, of astronauts. But I feel like the next generation, once we figure that stuff out and start actually going places, like they're talking about capturing or going to an asteroid, the geologists are going to be the ones they want planting their boots on the surface of these places. Let's do that before this sheep falls into our hidey hole. Woof! Woof indeed, Wolfie. Have a nightlight. Actually, get out of that block. I don't need you to disappear on me. Indeed. So, yeah, see what happens when you guys ask questions? It just is so easy for me to continue talking for 35 minutes. Oh! Oh, this is a terribly constructed hidey hole. Got a sunroof. Oh, there goes my shovel. Bing and a blong. Alright, well, this works. Let's plunk down the old crafting table. Let's make an additional... Oh, I need sticks. Sticks! Additional shovel here. Do we need anything else? No, not really. Shovel. I'll turn the rest into torches. And then we will make the beds for the next episode. And I will remind you guys to keep going to farlandsorbust.com to keep contributing to Child's Play charity. Once again, I do appreciate, as much as I would like things to calm down a little bit, I do appreciate all of this renewed... it's raining! Good thing I covered up those, what's it called? Sunroofs. We don't see rain that often here in Farlands or Bust. Ooh, it's coming down, like gangbusters. We don't see rain that much here in Farlands or Bust. Beta 173 does have, obviously, weather in it. It's because I sleep. I sleep every night. And for those of you who don't know, Minecraft, the timer for rain and weather in general is reset to a random number every time you sleep, and it's generally at least 1 day. So we very rarely see weather or rain, so very interesting. So sorry, Wolfie, you get a little wet out there, but I'll go to sleep and make this little downpour as short as possible. Once again, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Dramatic pause.